Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about the article writing, which is a part of your writing skill. Let's come to know about the article. What is article? Now, children, an article is a short piece of non-fictional material meant for the public to read. It is meant for the general public. By writing an article, we make the public aware on any public issues, example child labor, environment, global warming, the current scenarios, corona pandemic. So, if we need to make the public aware on these social issues, we write an article. An article may be written for a magazine, it could be written for a newspaper, and when we write an article, the topics of which may vary from a narrative experience, it could be an assessment of any common current issue, it could be a description of a particular issue, um, uh, but it should be worth of discussion. Article can be based on visuals, can be based on news reports, it could be on a pie charts and survey reports, and there are so many things. Now, children, when you write an article, there are certain points which is very important to remember. So, when you write an article, the heading should be very catchy. It could be a one word, it could be a one phrase, it could be a small sentence, but should be little bit descriptive, and it should be thought provoking. You know what is thought provoking? Why it should be thought provoking? Once a person reads the heading of the article, he should not stop himself for reading the whole article. That's why the heading should be very catchy. Now, children, it's for the examination point of view. When you read the topic and instructions thoroughly, when you are writing an article, suppose a question is given, it is very essential that when you are going to attempt that question, before that you need to ponder over the subject, over the topic, and should read the instructions very carefully, very thoroughly, and then start writing. Now, vocabulary should be very adequate, should be very proper. And one thing which is very important in writing an article is that each paragraph should deal with one main idea supported by other sentences. There are so many sentences we write in the article, but sometimes it happens that the current line which we are writing, it doesn't have any correlation with the previous line, so that should be avoided. Each and every line should be interconnected, interlinked. And the last thing which is very important is that a proper punctuation should be used. Now, if you need to understand what is an article, so I would like to tell you that article is something which offers advice. Article is something which describes an event. It describes problems. Not only problems, but it offers suggestions. So the article should provide some certain information. It should present your opinion, and you can write an article for describing any event or any person, or you want, if you want, you can describe your experience. So this is why the article is written, and you can present an opinion or your argument. Sometimes we write an article for a good cause as well, in case of a child labor, abolition of a child labor, or fighting against the coronavirus. So this is how you can write, you how you can make people aware, how can they do something so that they could avoid such kind of pandemics. And you can give a new information, and your support into that. You can give suggestions, you can give advice, you can present a problem also, but with offering a proper solution to that. Next thing, which is very important, that is coda. If you want to write an article, coder should be kept in mind. Now we need to understand what is coder. C stands for collection of ideas. Suppose a topic is child labor. Now, first, before writing and before attempting the um, article, you need to collect your ideas regarding the child labor. You can note down so many informations what you have collected, in a piece of paper. Now the next thing is very very important, that is organization of the ideas. You should organize your ideas, what you have jotted down in your paper, that you should put in a sequence order, that is called organizing. Then put it in a paper, in a paper, that is called drafting the ideas. Drafting means writing your ideas, whatever you have collected, now you have organized, now you can write. After writing, just go on for the editing part. Means you just try to find out the corrections, what corrections do you get into that. So जो करेक्शन आपको मिले उस करेक्शन को आप सही करें. आफ्टर making the corrections, just rewrite your ideas. It means that you just make a fair. So that is coda. C, collection of ideas. O, organizing the ideas. D, draft your ideas. E, edit your ideas. And finally, you should rewrite your. So with the help of the coder, you can write an effective article. Now let us discuss the format. Your article should start with a heading, as we have discussed. Heading should be very catchy and related to the subject, followed by a byline in which you can write your name, or you can put XYZ in case the name of the writer is not given. And the third part is the body or content, which contains generally 2 to 3 short paragraphs. Now let us discuss what should be written in the content. So as we have told, it should be in 3 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you have to tell what the article is about. So you have to give an attractive title. Then in the introductory part, you have to introduce the ideas and present the problem. By reading this, the reader will come to know what you are going to write further. So that should be given in the first paragraph. Coming to the paragraph number 2, that is the main body of the article. It can contain 2 paragraphs where you will discuss the problem in detail and you have to offer your solutions. So like you can use some facts as well to support your views. You can give your arguments in favor or in disfavor. So say what point of view you are talking. And in the third part, it should be a conclusion. You have to give a conclusion, so you can conclude the article by summing up your arguments. Now talking about as were discussing about the content, so in the introductory paragraph you have to write your statement of the problem, and then little bit of discussion should be there. In the second, it should be a descriptive paragraph where you have to support your ideas in a logical order. You can give your reasons, you can produce some cause, and then absolutely result should be given as well. You have to give the solution also, and in the last paragraph you can write a conclusion with your suggestions. Now talking about the marking scheme of the article, how the marking is done, how your article will be assessed in the paper. So it will be assessed in 3 ways. There are 3 criteria, 3 rubrics we say. One is content. What is content? Means the presentation of your ideas, what you have written into that. That will contain 4 marks. Then fluency. What effective language have you used? That will be of 2 marks. And then the accuracy, your grammatical errors, everything will be assessed. So how the idea is presented, so that will contain 2 marks. So overall your article will have 8 marks. Now I give you one example. I've taken it from a newspaper, Hindustan Times. Now children, you can see how the article is written by the famous journalists. This is an article based on the current pandemic, coronavirus. Will force majeure apply to COVID? It is written by Abhishek Sanghvi. So we can see Abhishek Sanghvi. So this is how the article is written in a newspaper. But in the examinations, only 3 things you have to keep in mind. Write one attractive heading of the article, followed by the name of the writer, and then 2 to 3 paragraphs starting with the introductory paragraph. Second one should be the main body where you will discuss the problem and the solution, and the third one should be your concluding paragraph. Now here's a question for you children. You are disturbed by the way the viral fever like dengue and chikungunya spread during summer season. You would like to write an article to a leading newspaper about the problem. So this is the question. you can do at your home. Thank you, children.